Hi there, welcome back to the Apatros review. In this episode, British intelligence, also known as enemy agent. Now, don't worry about that. Now, this film is in public domain, and so you're bound to find a free duplicate copy in some public domain multipacks if you search hard enough, or even the internet. It could even be on YouTube. Haven't checked. Now, welcome back to the Apatros review. I'm your host, Mila Sipka, and join me as I take you on a ride through the wild world of science fiction, action, and horror, all from my personal DVD collection. Now, this film I'm reviewing, is British Intelligence, also known in some places as Enemy Agent, directed by Terry O'Morse in the year 1940. It had a theatrical release on the 29th of January 1940 in the US. It is a co-production between the USA and UK, and it was based on it's actually the third of three and final of three film adaptations of a 1918 play called Three Faces East, which was written by Anthony Paul Kelly. The two previous versions were in the 1920s and 1930. This one is actually the best of the three. Now, this third and so far final film adaptation of a 1918 vintage stage play called Three Faces East is not only the only one of the film versions to be made during World War II, but is generally considered by Boris Karloff fans as the best one of the bunch. The year is 1917, and the Germans have been really lucky in placing their master deep cover operative Franz Strindler deep in the British intelligence community, which, despite having heard of Strindler's antics to the point that he is the most wanted man in the British Empire's eyes, he has been utterly unable to track him down due to his methodical planning and shrewd tactics. After the British lose their number one spy to Strindler's actions, they bank on a gambit that might be considerably risky, but might win them the war on the intelligence front. They have another deep cover agent, a female spy named Frances Hodri, who has been extremely successful in infiltrating the Imperial German intelligence, to the point that the Hun consider her to be one of their best operatives. Hodri, operating under the name of Helene von Lorbeer, is sent by the German Kaiser to Britain to assist none other than Strindler himself in infiltrating the household of Arthur Bennett, a lawyer working with the British War Cabinet, under the guise of being a refugee. With Strindler posing as a French butler named Volda, but keeping his true nature a secret from absolutely everyone else, and also pretending to be a double agent working for the British, Hodri tries to find out what the German network consists of, and to stop Strindler from assassinating the British War Cabinet with a well-placed bomb. This British-American wartime propaganda flick was actually one of the best World War II era, but set in World War I, spy thrills I've ever seen from that era. The plot has more twists than the bag of your favorite pretzels, and the acting is absolutely spot on. It is also very fast-paced for a 1940 production. The source of the story was a stage play that came out during the end of the First World War, and suffered through not one but two poorly received films, although this third and final attempt pretty much succeeds on that front. And at the runtime span of only a few seconds over the 1 hour mark, this won't outstay its welcome. In fact, you can pretty much treat this in the same way as a typical History Channel doco about the war, and you can watch it pretty much the same time span, without commercial breaks of course. The story does have a few minor quibbles in it that rather amuse the historian in me. When asked about whether her target has any family, which she already knows about, Hodri is told that Arthur Bennett has a pilot son serving in the Royal Air Force, as they claim, but which is pretty inaccurate given that until the 1st of April 1918, the Royal Air Force was known as the Royal Flying Corps. In the dubious sanity of two German spies exchanging intel, but one of them, posing as a secretary, pounding typewriter keys in a covert German version of Morse code, when a British intelligence agent happens to be in the same room. Although, sure enough, the secretary blows the cover after transmitting another of her messages. And as for the safety of German field operatives in Britain during World War I, well, the German Zeppelin fleet needs to know where its own operatives are, since the stray Zeppelin bomb pretty much fatally ends the career of Germany's best spy. An understandable mistake. And by the way, about those Zeppelin raids in World War I, to be honest, even though they caused a bit of damage, they weren't really, given the resources the British used to try and defeat the Zeppelins, it would have been more cost effective if they just ignored them, because, only one lucky hit from a Zeppelin would have caused more than half the damage that was inflicted by Zeppelins during that entire war. And besides, Zeppelins were practically easy to shoot down. Anyway, but minor quibbles aside, this film was very well done for its time, and you can very easily modify the story by updating it and remake it these days. The film is that well drawn. Now, British Intelligence gets a B+, 7 out of 10 from me. It is a remarkably good spy thriller that, despite being about an earlier military conflict, still manages to be resonating enough to warn the movie-going public about the then-present war, World War II in this case, against a savage enemy. There is no gore or nudity in this film. I hope you guys are staying safe. I don't do requests, but if you want to know if I have a particular film in my collection, just hit me up in the comments section. I'll do my best to answer. Hope you guys are staying safe. Enjoy yourselves, and that's it for this review.